Welcome back to Always Something. If you've been watching my vlog, then you've probably seen the vlog where I first got diagnosed with my autism.
And it was just a bunch of assessments on a laptop, and those assessments took a big chunk of the time.
And if you haven't, be sure and check that out. April 2nd was World Autism Day, but it's Autism Awareness Month all month long. So let's dive into it. Many children get diagnosed at a young age, some as young as 2 years old, and then they have their whole lifetime to learn how to cope with the challenges that autism brings. But if you don't know about autism or have never lived with anybody who's had it, then what are you to do? So let's be clear about a few things. Autism is not a learning disability. It's not an illness or a disease. It's not bad parenting. And it does not affect only children. So what is it? Technically, it's a neurological developmental difference. What does that even mean? It means our brains are wired just a little bit differently. So what does it affect? It affects how we perceive, experience, interact with, and interpret the world. And it's lifelong. So if you're an adult like me and you suspect that you might have any sort of inkling of having this, then it's important that you pay attention. So why is there a spectrum? What does that even mean? It means that no two people on the spectrum will have the exact same symptoms. So why is that important? Because that means some people will have mild symptoms, whereas others will have very extreme symptoms. Let me tell you about how I discovered that I have autism. Y'all know there's so many different dating shows on TV right now, and I was getting bored. So I discovered Love on the Spectrum, and I was like, okay, well, this looks like something different. Let's check this out. So I started watching it, and this was really my first window into actual real life people on the spectrum and what their days are like. And I found this really intriguing. I had never in my day-to-day had a window into somebody with autism, or at least I didn't know that I had that window. Turns out, watching this show, which I thought was purely going to just be entertainment, actually reminded me of a family member growing up. And that it was like these light bulbs going off in my head. And I was like, wow, okay, I didn't expect that at all. And then on top of that, I didn't just think about the person I grew up with. I was also kind of like, this is making more sense to me, not just about this person, but maybe some of my family history and maybe a little bit about myself. And then it also educated me not just about that, but about the whole spectrum that I mentioned of autism. The fact that some symptoms can be milder and some symptoms can be more extreme. And it taught me that autistic people are just wired a little bit differently in the brain, and that they can still be successful in a lot of areas and some of the areas that they might struggle with. So it was just really eye-opening to me learning about the whole mental aspects of autism. So from there, after watching the show, I got online and I found this survey. There are different surveys that you can find, but the one that I took looked similar to this. And I took it to see, is this all in my head or is there something behind this? It told the results at the end of it, and the results said, basically, I'm on the right track. I show signs of being on the spectrum. I should consult a physician. So I did consult my primary care physician. I showed them the results of the survey, and they set up an appointment for me to get testing done. Now, for me, it wasn't just as easy as go in and get testing done, because the first doctor that I went to was not an actual doctor that did the testing, so I had to wait a little longer, and then I ended up moving in the process, and so I had to get reset up with a new primary care physician, and then I had to request to get testing again, and it was a whole bunch of stuff in between. I eventually did get the testing done, and that's what you saw in my diagnosis video that I previously put out. Again, if you haven't seen that, be sure and check that out. But that was the process of how I found out that I, yes, indeed, am level 1. Now, what does level 1 mean? Well, there are 3 different levels of autism. All 3 levels do require some support. So it's very important that if you do recognize that you have any symptoms, that you do seek a medical professional to help you. It's only going to help better your life. Anything that you're struggling with is nothing to be ashamed of, because it's not your fault that you have these struggles, and it's just going to teach you how to better manage it to make it easier on yourself. When I found out, it wasn't this devastating feeling of defeat. It was more like an empowering moment, like, these are the reasons why I have been living life this way, and now I'm going to figure out the tools that I need in order to help me succeed, in order to help me grow, in order to help me handle the things that I struggle with and not struggle so much. So what are some of the struggles that I had and that I've learned to manage since getting diagnosed? Well, sensory overload was one of the things I talked about in my video. And yeah, that's always going to be a challenge. I mean, autism is lifelong. And so, like right now, I've got this central air unit behind me. In fact, I think there's multiple ones around me, and they are buzzing so loud. And I almost didn't sit here on this bench because it was just too much. And in fact, I don't know how long I'm going to sit here on this bench because it's a lot. So even in this beautiful day with the birds chirping, sun shining, I'm just like, I need to move. So, sounds are much more intense when you have autism. I carry earplugs with me. Some people with autism actually have noise canceling headphones that they put over their ears to help with that. I just use little earbuds because that works for me, but you can use whatever works for you to help with that. My sunglasses are great for too bright of lights. Lighting can be a big one. We can get headaches that are just really debilitating from the bright lights and the extreme sounds, and it doesn't end with that. It can be smells. Smells are just overpowering sometimes. It's ridiculous, but I will cook a meal that smells great and I'll enjoy it. And then when I'm done eating it, if the house smells like the food, I don't want to smell it after I'm done eating. It's as silly as that is. So you didn't see that, but a plane just flew overhead. Anyway, that's another one though. We get distracted super easily. So that's another thing that's my autism. I always thought that that was just me. No, that is because of my autism. Speaking of eating, that would be a food sensory issue. Textures when you're eating. I've never liked different textures. So some autistic people just won't eat certain things. So for me, Jell-O, never liked Jell-O, can't stand the texture. Never liked cottage cheese, can't stand the texture. So yeah, different textures are just flat out won't do. I tend to be more adventurous than some, but I still have my lines. Oh, okay. So there's definitely communication barriers. So vlogging this right here does not come natural at all. I have the worst stage fright. I am like terrible when you turn on the camera. I have had to practice speaking in front of the camera. I used to get the worst anxiety. I still am not great, but again, practice. It's really good to practice the things that you struggle with. It's the only way you're going to get better. And so I don't vlog because I am so comfortable in front of the camera. I don't vlog because it comes naturally or easy for me. Sometimes doing what's hard and what's not easy is how you grow and of good benefit. I vlog because I feel like it's important to spread awareness. I have many things going on with this body. Autism is just one of them. You've seen me talk about some of the other things I struggle with. And I feel like we all have our things that we struggle with. And some people feel like embarrassed to talk about those things. And when I got diagnosed with my rare invisible illnesses, that's when I learned the importance of doing the hard, uncomfortable thing. And that's why I vlog to this day. The theme of Autism Awareness Month and Day this year is Celebrate Differences. This theme celebrates the unique qualities and differences of autistic individuals. It also encourages embracing the diversity within the community. If you haven't been to the Autism Speaks webpage, I encourage you to do so. It only takes 30 minutes out of your day to take the autism-friendly training to learn how to make everyday spaces more friendly. Thank you so much for watching my video. Remember, it's Autism Awareness Month all month long. Have a good rest of your month, and we'll catch you next time. Bye-bye. Oh, don't fall. Don't fall on me, camera. A large chunk of people get diagnosed. That was me. I was an adult diagnosed. Y'all know there's so many reality David. Y'all know there's so many reality David. So both Autism Awareness Month and Autism Awareness. So what is it? It's a Happy Autism Awareness Month. Catch you next time.